पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ रुपए का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस केवल 450 रुपए महीने से शुरू। Wow.
And some breaking news coming in. This may be good news for many Indians. Government has hiked the interest rates on some small saving schemes. Priyanshi joins us for more on this. Priyanshi, break this down. What would this mean for the common man?
This is good news for investors, good news for savers who keep their money in government deposits and in government saving schemes. The government has hiked the interest rates on some small saving schemes. Now, the interest rates across term deposits have been hiked and there's a range of 20 basis points to 110 basis points, which means 0.2 percentage points to 1.1 percentage point hikes have been announced across several terms of the saving deposits. Let's go through the hikes for specific term deposits. For 1-year term deposit, the rate has been hiked from 5.5% to 6.6%, so an interest rate hike of 110 basis points. For 2-year deposits as well, there's an interest rate hike of 110 basis points from 5.7% to 6.8%. For 3-year term deposits, the interest rate earlier was 5.8%. Now, the interest rate will be from January 1st, 2023. It will be for 3-year term deposit, it will be at 6.9%. So there also a hike of 110 basis points. For 5-year term deposits, from 6.7%, it has been hiked to 7%, which is again a hike of 30 basis points. For 5-year recurring term deposits, it has been hiked from 5.8%. It has remained the same from 5.8% to 5.8%. No change there for recurring deposits. For senior citizen savings scheme, it has been hiked from 7.6% to 8%. So a 40 basis point increase there. For monthly income account scheme, the hike is of 40 basis points again from 6.7% to 7.1%. The national savings certificate, the interest rate for that has been hiked from 6.8% to 7%. For public provident fund scheme, the rate has remained the same at 7.1%. For the Kisan Vikas Patra, the earlier rate was 7%, but now the rate has been hiked to 7.2%. So these are the major hikes that have been announced by the government across small saving schemes. This will definitely be a good news for for investors who invest in government schemes for a term deposit or even for the national savings certificate. This was being expected as private banks had already increased their deposit interest rates and they had already increased their loan rates as well after the Reserve Bank of India had announced a series of interest rate hikes this year. Those interest rate hikes by the Reserve Bank translate into the rates of commercial banks and government banks as well, because that is the rate that commercial banks and government banks borrow money from the Reserve Bank at. So when they get a higher rate from the Reserve Bank for getting money and for even depositing money, they pass on that rate for consumers like you and me. And that is why we're seeing this interest rate hike for the government. Definitely good news for all savers.